Fear of the unknown is probably the most popular fear on the planet. I feel like most people are afraid of things they don't fully understand, and that's what I'm here to talk about today. And I'm sure a lot of you have already seen this, but I am fascinated and disturbed by a very popular branch of TikTok live streaming content that's blowing up right now. I'm like a dog when you get a vacuum cleaner out. I cower in fear because I really don't understand it. Now, TikTok live streams already have a reputation for being horrible. It's just an absolute wasteland. It's full of trash, more so than a landfill. I don't think there's ever even accidentally been a good TikTok live stream, except for the time a ton of people were illegally rebroadcasting the Super Bowl on there. Just going onto that platform to watch live streams is like going to an active war zone to tiptoe around landmines, but in this case, there's no safe spot to tiptoe. You always hit a landmine of fucking cringe.
Gang gang. Gang gang. Ooh. Ice cream so good. Yeah, strong woman. Balloon. Yeah, strong woman.
This is what we're here to talk about. This is some kind of NPC live streaming trend where TikTok creators go live and then just act like NPCs here. Someone really summed it up best by saying that this feels like someone canceling combos in a fighting game. She just keeps randomly emoting like if you're spamming taunts in Chivalry 2 or in like Super Smash Bros. Melee. Show me your moves. Oh, yeah, show me your moves. Show me your moves. I don't know how long she streams for, but it's gotta be fucking exhausting. It is non-stop jingling keys with no breaks. Because she's smart. She knows that on TikTok, kids leave if there's even a split second of dead air. Silence is the #1 enemy on TikTok. Silence is the devil. It's like the opposite of a quiet place where you have to be quiet to keep monsters away. This is the loud fucking doofusville platform where you have to be making as much noise as possible and stimulation out the wazoo or else people immediately turn it off. Which is why most popular videos have like 5 different tiny videos inside of them, like cutting soap in half with a knife, or the loud sounds of 5 trash cans being slammed together like cymbals while Temple Run's playing on the bottom right and GTA 5's on the top left. And she's come up with a more effective money-making strategy than free armor trimming in RuneScape. She is constantly acting out tips. So, people tip her, and she acts out the associated emoji with it, which incentivizes more people to keep tipping, which keeps supplying the stream with the NPC content.
Yes, 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 yes. Yeah, strong woman. Yeah, strong woman. Slay, huh? Oh, take your gaps. I love you. Slay, huh? Gang, gang. Gang, gang. Gang, gang. Yeah, strong woman. Ugh. Fire. Butterfly. Beautiful. Okay. Fire. Gang, gang. Gang, gang. Oh, where's my feet? Ooh, gang, 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 gang. Yes, popcorn. Gang, 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 gang. Fire. Gang, gang. Pop. Amazing. Ooh.
For those that don't know how it works, on TikTok, they're so quirky and raw XD random that instead of just donating to a creator on live, you tip them with like emojis. So you give them like some roses or a dragon or a galaxy or a lemon or some shit like that. And then the creator can take this random assortment of Microsoft clip art and then turn it into money. So that's what's happening here. She's getting these tips and then she's just doing a short little performance with the tips as like an NPC. And on TikTok, it seems like people are constantly tipping. It seems like one of people's favorite pastimes on TikTok lives is giving away all of the money they have to their name. Like, these kids are like 12 years old and just give their whole allowance to TikTok creators in order for an actual split second of acknowledgement. So here, she doesn't actually like acknowledge the donators, she just acknowledges the dumbbell, for example. And she'll do like a little performance when you tip a dumbbell. I don't know how much money that is, fucking 5 glue bucks or something. I have no idea what the conversion rate in money to emote is on TikTok. But that's the whole strategy, and it's very effective. She's not the only one doing it, but she is the most popular right now. And she is engaging in a bit of whimsical silliness by having a hair iron out and popping individual popcorn kernels with it. So that's just another, like, piece of the puzzle here for keeping people hooked on it, because it's so weird and wacky that it makes it mysterious and mystical. Like, oh my god, she's cooking popcorn with a hair iron, kernel by kernel, slowly? Why, I never... I gotta message my friends to turn off the Finger family videos. We gotta get in here quickly. They gotta see this. She's cooking popcorn with a hair iron. There's nothing like it. You don't want to miss it. So it works out really well because it's a combination, a perfect storm, a geostorm for everything that works on TikTok. Perpetual stimulation while, being able to constantly spam the emotes and talking so there's never any silence, while also having that like XD random with the popcorn and hair iron, which is something that does very well on TikTok. So she's fucking crushing it. Now there's a lot of copycats doing it. So the big trend is a ton of TikTok creators like her doing this exact same performance, and they all do well, but she's by far the biggest. So they like move around, like they have idle animations. It's like you're on the Choose Your Fighter screen in Mortal Kombat, but for them, the only fatality they have is fucking cringe.
Yes, you got me feeling like a cowgirl. Let me ready it, time. Gang gang. Gang gang. Gang gang. Ice cream so good. Gang gang. Gang gang. Yes, yes, yes. Gang gang. Gang gang. Ice cream so good. Oh, take it, I am. You got me feeling like a queen, huh? Rah, rah, rah. Slay, huh? Slay, huh? Gang gang. Gang gang. Ice cream so good. Balloon. Gang gang. Gang gang. Gang gang. Oh, what is that? Gang gang. Balloon. Gang gang. Gang gang. Ice cream so good.
If this isn't evidence of people's brains devolving thanks to TikTok, I don't know what is. This is the purest example of what's happening with your brain on TikTok, where now all you need is just noise and you're entertained. Again, it's the same performance every time. She has a set list of how she responds to the emotes, and she doesn't deviate from it, and she very rarely breaks character. She only broke character one time over the last, 4 days I've seen this, and it was brief, very brief, actually just 5 seconds, and then right back into it. There's no interaction. There's nothing beyond just seeing the same emotes over and over again. It's like if you watched a 10-hour compilation of the same 5 Fortnite emotes repeated forever. And you keep tuning in every day and you're giving money to it in order to keep fueling the perpetual motion machine. Very smart on her end, but man, I don't get how she is averaging 40,000 viewers all watching this same performance every fucking day. It's mind-blowing to me. It's baffling. Nothing but respect to the creators capitalizing off of this here, but nothing but shame for seeing the state that entertainment for young people is in. I was just talking about Skibbity Toilet yesterday, actually applauding it by saying, finally, a piece of content I think is pretty solid in a sea of dog shit content for kids. There was finally something, like a bright light at the end of the tunnel with Skibbity Toilet, finally something that looked like maybe good content still exists for kids. And then immediately I started jumping into this rabbit hole with the NPC live streams, and I'm right back to where I started, where I feel like every single kid is doomed to failure for the rest of their life thanks to their brain being rotted by TikTok. But anyway, just wanted to talk about this a little bit because I found it pretty interesting and obviously kind of goofy. So that's about it. So yeah. I'm becoming more and more convinced that TikTok is actually a weapon used to weed out stupid people. Because this story is not the first of its kind. This is not an isolated incident where a TikTok trend or challenge leads to a lot of fatalities. It's honestly getting to the point where these headlines feel like they're AI generated. Like the one we're talking about today feels like a fake story put into Grand Theft Auto as a joke. Just something they slid in there as something silly. But it's apparently legitimate. There's a TikTok trend called the boat jumping challenge, which is responsible for at least 4 people's deaths recently. And the challenge, as the name would imply, is jumping off of a boat going extremely fast. You don't need a master's degree in physics to figure out why this is dangerous, but just in case, I'll lay down the brass tacks, so I'm gonna sit you down in the classroom here for the lecture, so spit out your gum. Since the boat is moving so fast, when you jump off of it, you hit the water hard as shit. You generate a lot of force behind that impact. It's a goddamn wallop. So, what's happening is, when people are jumping off of the boats, they're hitting the water and then snapping their necks and drowning. It's an easily preventable and probably the most embarrassing death imaginable because you killed yourself for a goofy-ass TikTok challenge. And I also hate that everything in the world is called a challenge these days. That word has lost all meaning. There's nothing challenging about this. Jumping off a boat doesn't have any level of difficulty or skill to it. The only challenge, I guess, is surviving it. Like avoiding being banished to the fucking Shadow Realm for it. But I'm so fucking tired of everything getting called a challenge, you know? Here's the poop without wiping challenge. You take a shit and you don't use any toilet paper or a bidet to clean your anus. Expert difficulty, ultra nightmare mode, impossible challenge. You won't last 5 seconds. It's so dumb. I'm so tired of everything getting labeled a challenge. But anyway, this trend of boat jumping is responsible for at least 4 deaths. And like I mentioned, that is just the saddest way of going out. Not only is it like an agonizingly slow, painful death, but that is just, you're probably getting made fun of in the afterlife for that. Dying for a stupid TikTok trend, you know the angels are shooting spitballs at you. Like that is, like it's just a shameful way of exiting this corporeal realm and shedding the mortal coil. That is so fucking sad. Like I feel horrible that, you know, people have, you know, perished from it. But I honestly am stunned by just how quickly the human brain is devolving. This is like human instincts 101 shit. Like this is common sense. This is an instinct you're born with. Not to like jump off of something going fast because it'll create bad ouchie boo-boo moment. Fucking cavemen probably would know not to jump off of like a speeding vehicle like this. I just don't understand how anyone would see this challenge and think that it was somehow safe or wasn't dangerous. Like you'd have to know. You would have to know. And another thing is, it's so traumatizing, like dying this way, not only because it was extremely avoidable, but because it's most likely done in front of your family and friends. Like if you're on a boat, you're probably not on a boat with strangers. That's not exactly like you can call up an Uber to do this with. You can't just call up like a boat service, right, to pick you up and do this TikTok trend. So you had friends and family around you filming you, and then you did the TikTok suicide challenge right in front of them, and they watched you die and fucking filmed it. That is scarring. That is incomprehensibly nightmarish. So like this whole thing is, it's shocking that anyone would actually even do this. Like 4 deaths from it is surprisingly low actually. I imagine that's only the reported ones so far, assuming this is a popular trend. And I decided to look it up myself on TikTok to see how big the trend was. And it seems like it was pretty big, and there are still quite a few surviving videos of people doing the challenge, but all of them seem to at least had the foresight to recognize that, you know, pushing that bitch wide open on the boat going like 60 would have been a complete disaster and led to a Mortal Kombat fatality. So the ones that are on there right now are slow boats. They're going slow, so that way they don't hurt themselves doing it or like get seriously injured from it. Whereas most people, I guess, didn't recognize that and amplified the danger, fucking Evel Knievel, and actually just warp-drived their boat and jumped off, which led to these 4 deaths in Alabama. This whole situation proves to me, with my fucking tinfoil hat conspiracy theory, that there has to be some kind of shadow organization, the puppet masters pulling the strings of TikTok, that are in this think tank coming up with the most dangerous trends and challenges, knowing that stupid people will die doing it as a way of like population control or something. Like not only is TikTok legitimately rotting the brains of so many people, but they're not satisfied with that. They're gluttonous for more punishment of the human species. So they're coming up with challenges like this knowing that people will die doing it. Because like I said, this is far from the only one. There's also, of course, like the blackout challenge, which was literally suffocating yourself. And some people died doing that. Which, obviously, but that was the whole fucking challenge, basically. You just strangle yourself until you're about to pass out, and some people died from it. But point is, there's so many of these challenges now. This is just the most recent one. And what's even crazier is I think back to the Tide Pod challenge, how everyone all at once recognized the stupidity and the danger of it, and yet that didn't have nearly as many deaths or injuries as any TikTok trend that comes out. Like, every big TikTok trend has, like, at least a handful of deaths associated with it at this point. And even extending further beyond Tide Pod Challenge, many people forget this one, but it's one I look back on with a big fucking smile on my face that someone even tried it. There was something called the Hot Coil Challenge, which was only ever done by one person. It was a dude who just turned his fucking stovetop on and then put his bare forearm on it and let it incinerate his flesh. So he just slams his arm onto the stovetop and lets that motherfucker simmer. He is in there just letting it cook. So he holds it there for a little bit, obviously just melting the flesh off, fucking cremating his forearm, and called it the Hot Coil Challenge. And that would have been less detrimental to human health than fucking TikTok trends like the boat jumping challenge. There would have been less deaths in the Hot Coil Challenge than there are in things like the boat jumping challenge and blackout challenge and all of that. That's so crazy. Now, this isn't exactly related to the boat jumping challenge, but I want to illustrate just how dangerous water speed is. There is a record for the fastest water speed ever achieved, and it was set back in the 70s. And you'd think upon hearing that, like, oh, we've advanced well beyond that with technology. How have we not been able to beat a record from the 70s when it comes to water speed? And that's because it's considered the most hazardous thing to ever engage in. It's the most dangerous record to ever try and break. There's a whole Wikipedia page dedicated to it. Of the last 13 attempts to break the water speed world record, there have been 7 deaths. And the 2 most recent attempts both ended in catastrophe and death. It is a record that most people don't really want to challenge because it is so fucking dangerous. I feel like a lot of people just don't recognize how dangerous water can be, which is a silly thing to say, because I feel like most people should be able to, but we're living in clown times right now where people are just, they're not thinking anymore. They see internet engagement and all rational thought goes right out the window. So it's fucking dangerous. Obviously, this boat jumping challenge was going to lead to serious injury and death. And yet, people were blinded in the pursuit of clout. A story as old as time now. Well, not really. A story as old as 3 or 4 years now, with how desperate people are for clout, that they are actually killing themselves for it. So yeah, just kind of wanted to talk about this a little bit. That's about it. See ya. This is a type of video I've never made before. I'm making this purely out of spite. I'm just a vengeful spirit right now. I had to suffer, and I feel it's only fair you suffer too. On Twitter today, a few people tagged me in 2 TikToks that were just so insultingly offensive to my eyes. I was more disturbed than a Christian youth pastor going to see the director's cut of The Human Centipede. It was so yucky that I just feel obligated to inflict this pain upon you, the viewer, and I'd like to talk about them a bit further. It's from a trend on TikTok where weird dudes try and be sexual and do, like, sexual shit, but it's super fucking creepy. Yeah, I mean, you know, who doesn't love a video like this? Just massaging spit into a blanket that you're pretending is a clitoris. Like, who is this for? I can't imagine there's a single sentient human being out there that's, like, excited about this or being turned on like, fuck, I'm wet now. Or, like, being cheered on in the locker room. Yeah! Oh, baby, yeah! Keep fucking rubbing her clit. Yeah, look at him go. Yes! It's vomit-inducing, especially considering that the majority of the TikTok user base is children. And then he finishes the video by, like, grabbing and squeezing what he's simulating is supposed to be a vagina. So he's basically just fucking, like, grabbing on it like he's trying to start a lawnmower. He's like fucking trying to pop a balloon in his hand. Like, it's so disturbing, like, the whole thing. And he's not the only one. There was quite a few videos I saw just like this. I don't really get it. Maybe I'm just getting older. But how would any woman see this and be like, damn, I gotta hit this guy up. He look at the way he's massaging his spit into that blanket. That could be my pussy right now. Oh my god. He could be massaging my pisser and it'd feel this amazing like what I'm watching in this TikTok video. This guy's truly an expert. A sexual wizard. A pleasure wizard. From what I can tell, this trend is supposed to prove that you have sex. Like, hey, no, look, I fuck and I'm good at it. and then they have like whatever songs playing here, Arctic Monkeys or whatever is going on. I don't know the song. It just doesn't make any sense. You know, like if I was to participate in this trend, I'd want to go like full-blown Alpha Chad Thundercock status. Like, I not only know how to massage one pussy, but 50. So I'd have like some inspirational music playing, you know, like maybe Scatman or something, and I'm just going all over the place. Fucking southpaw on them, maybe get like the Zoidberg going. Just simulating rubbing over 1,000 clits around me. And then maybe I'd be considered the most sexual man on TikTok. Which, when said out loud, sounds like a crime, actually. The thing is, this whole trend is so disturbing as a viewer. Like, how is this content that anyone would leave a like on? But what's crazier is I saw so many people trying to duet with this video in particular, so there were so many people moved by it and turned on by it that they wanted to respond to it and, like, fainting, oh. It's wild. TikTok is truly an absolutely baffling cesspool sometimes. Why? Just why? My fucking day is ruined now. Dude hits a swan dive into a cunnilingus true combo. That's like a Tony Hawk Pro Skater line right there. I mean, good for him. You know, connecting all of those tricks together. And he sticks his tongue out and his tongue is like 20 feet long. Which I think is supposed to be like a turn on for the women that were watching. But I just feel like it'd be more of a detriment than anything. Because if this man goes to eat some vagina, he's also going to be eating butthole by accident. Like, his tongue is going to wrap around her like a G-string. It's going to be like tentacle porn, but with a tongue. So I don't think it's, like, necessarily the best thing in the world to have a tongue this long. Especially not for him in particular, because when you're going to administer the doctor-recommended dose of vaginal eating, you'll just get a taste of ass, too. It's like, oh, God, babe, why does your pussy taste like shit? It's like, well, you know why. Your tongue is fucking deep in my colon right now. How do you not realize that? But I don't even understand, like, this doesn't even show that you're good at sex, which I think the whole trend is supposed to. Because who the fuck is like, hey babe, you ready to bang? You ready to make a bedroom ham sandwich? Alright, here I come. And you do like a cannonball onto the bed, and then you just start like... But yeah, I just wanted to show these two videos from the trend here because I had to watch them, so I thought it was only right that you also had to experience this with me. So yeah, that's really about it. So yeah. Alright, let's do the darkest TikToks part 2. Part 1 had a ton of shit I'd never even heard of before.
Confused_me too. Also, I really want this in the iceberg because I want to let you guys know to not believe everything you see on TikTok. The account only has 2 posts. One of them shows someone squirming around in a garbage bag, and the other shows a river. I mean, come on, it just looks so staged. It's like some teenagers just wanted to prank the TikTok community. And also, if you
it's very easy to do that.
First of all, you wouldn't upload it. I wanted to include this on this list on the tip because, guys, don't believe everything you see on TikTok. And imagine, like,
I'm still gonna believe everything. Because it's more fun that way.
Suffocating flies trend. And squeeze the bottom, alluding to the idea of the fly being squished to death. Most of the times they wouldn't squish the fly, at least on video, but sometimes they would actually post it. This is a rare case where someone actually claims they made the trend. The user goes by DJSHBDBDB, and his bio read,
hey girl, I made that squishing fly trend on TikTok.
Trend now. This user has since changed his name and gotten banned due to violating community guidelines. It's really stupid when people do shit like this for clout. Like, dog, everyone kills flies, but it takes a special kind of person to trap a fly, put it in a syringe, start squeezing the bottom of it, and then post it for TikTok clout.
I don't feel like hunting that shit down. It's such a hassle.
Fly at 50K. Skinwalker dog. The woman posted a TikTok of her dog opening the door from inside the bathroom. She screams, "Oh my god," as the dog looks at her and closes the door again. The comments were full of people telling her that her dog was a skinwalker. Look, if the doorknob was...
yes. From Upper Kazuki. Yes, of course. The only man qualified to diagnose your dog with a possession. I have no doubt, too, that this kid truly believed it. They're like, oh my lord. That's our real possession. Just like in Demon Slayer.
But the owners then showed that the doorknob was one of those lever-type doorknobs. So,
yeah,
know,
my
that's
dog
how
opens
the dog
doors.
opened the door. Bolivia college incident. The Bolivia college incident is another one of those situations where users would just upload these shock videos onto TikTok until they get taken down. Eventually, the railing breaks and students begin falling to their deaths. It's so scary seeing this one girl about to fall to her death, but is pulled up by a colleague. Usually, I know about these shock videos that go around.
I've never heard of that.
Also, to the people posting this to get clout or likes or just
what
shock value.
Fuck? When did that happen? I've never heard of that in my life. Well, I'm not looking it up on stream, obviously, but I've literally never heard of this ever. It happened in 2021. Damn, what overshadowed this? Like, did Dreams stream during this day or something? How is this not trending on Twitter? How far up were they? 4th floor, it says right here. It was all over Reddit. Damn, what the fuck was I doing in March of 2021? I never heard of that at all.
You're fucking weird, bro. You're a weird piece of shit. The body.
Jesus, I'm sorry. I just haven't heard of it. Jesus.
TikTok.
That man came after me.
April 24th. Update on cat killer's identity. In part 1, we talked about the lady cat killer that would go on Omegle with the tag furry from 12 AM to 2 AM and would show off skinned and burned cats. She would also go on TikTok basically having fun that she wasn't caught. This is the internet. The cat killer was found out to be Crystal Cherica Scott, a 19-year-old woman in Indiana who apparently sold Animal Crush videos on the internet. When searching her home, FBI agents recovered numerous animal parts and skulls that were consistent of the size of cats and dogs. Agents also discovered approximately 3 live dogs, 12 live cats, and several lizards. Scott is facing up to 7 years in prison, 3 years of supervised release,
that is so fucking stupid.
$250,000.
That is so dumb that they are not more strict on that. It is fucking shocking. Even if, let's say you don't even like animals. Let's say you're a person that just fucking hates animals. At the very least, there is so much documentation to prove that people that harm animals or torture animals on camera for views or to sell the videos are literally the most likely to be serial killers. So even if you fucking hate animals, there is no argument where this person should ever be free again. For this long, this many tortured and killed animals on camera, there is no world where this person should be allowed back in general population. Fucking crazy. 7 years maximum with 3 years of supervised release. Good lord.
Foreigner challenge. So this was a trend that started in April of 2020, where people would post compilations of little fan edits of themselves, basically, with Pop Smoke's song Foreigner playing in the background. Rest in peace, Pop Smoke. You cannot say pop and forget the smoke. Except the people in these edits would put their into these edits.
Yeah, exactly. The animal harm is often a precursor to murder. Like almost every single murderer, like Richard Kuklinski, the Iceman, claimed to have killed over 200 people when he was working as a hitman for the mafia. Jeffrey Dahmer, I believe, also in that group. Ed Gein, pretty much everyone. Ted Bundy, I think, as well. Pretty much everyone you can think of all started with killing animals. Like just like torturing animals as a kid in their home or finding strays and beating them to death. They all started there. And yet still the law doesn't seem to take it seriously. Crazy. No, I don't think I've ever heard that one, Goblin.
In May of this year, an account on TikTok began gaining traction called Puberty Helper 101. The goal of this page was to help little girls go through puberty and deal with the changes their bodies were going through. But eventually, people found out that the owner behind the account was a grown man. It was even more disturbing when the account posted this. Hey guys, I'm going to pick 3 of you randomly and DM you and give you my phone number to help you and talk you through anything you need. If any of you would find this helpful, write in the comments and maybe I'll pick you up. What the fuck? This TikTok account.
Thanks, Austin Jones, I guess.
TikTok community found out it existed.
Who ran that account? EDP? Like, goddamn.
In April of this year, a 1444 video. The 1444 video is another video that would circulate around TikTok, just like the Bonnie McNutt video and the Bolivia college incident. This 2019 video showed a teenage Russian boy sitting on his couch saying a quote and then shooting himself in the head with a semi-automatic rifle. Before he commits, he says a quote, and that quote translates to Nikita. How does the saying go? Neon Polka. Neon Polka is a reference to another Russian person that also committed. And that person actually laid on train tracks and was, I don't even know if I could say
Holy
that, but her
shit.
head came off on the train tracks, and her last post on social media said Neon Polka, and it became like a meme in Russia, I guess. So you say that before you commit.
What a
to make matters even worse, Gleb's
awful way to go out. I don't know why that reminded me of something. Do you guys remember the hot coil challenge? That was back with the Tide Pod eating shit. There was a dude who threw his arm onto like a hot coil on his stove for the hot coil challenge. Anyone know what ever happened to that guy? And then he just like burnt the shit out of his arm, like probably a permanent branding. And then he was about to do it again before his friends stopped him. It never caught on or anything. But I was just wondering, does anyone have a follow-up to that? He's got nice scars. No, he's got stupid scars because it was literally just a hot coil. So his scar is just going to look like a pile of dog shit on his arm. It's not even like a cool scar or anything. London resub zombie. I guess no one knows what happened to the guy.
These two teenagers ended up murdering Sierra's father due to him not approving of them being together. The creepy part is that they posted this TikTok acting like it was a normal thing to do.
I don't know what to say.
Welcome back to our YouTube channel. Day 3 after murdering somebody.
Whoa!
Whoa, what a way to start a vlog.
The
Hey,
father had been stabbed to death and his body was set on fire. His body was found in his own garage. The teens have been charged with murder, but haven't entered a plea. If convicted, Guerrero could face the death penalty. Because she is a minor, Sierra faces life in prison.
That's
CP/
I can't imagine there's too much more that he hasn't covered because he's doing really broad topics instead of like specific instances, or at least in this that he did. So yeah, we can finish it.
Joining me today is the amazing True Crime Cam.
I thought it was gonna be Danny DeVito.
TikToks on your For You page. Plaque. That's so amazing. When we started this series, I was at 85,000. Now we're nearing 200,000.
Isn't he close to like 500K
so thank you guys so much for sticking around.
He's over.
And
God damn, he's popping off.
Grab a snack. Let's get started with the video.
Jesus. I feel like he was at 500K like a day ago, or whenever we watched the first part.
Jonathan G. You guys most likely have heard of this, but let's keep talking about it. Jonathan G was a TikTok account that appeared in 2020, but the original account has since been banned. To understand exactly who and what Jonathan G is, first we have to go back to 2016 and inform ourselves about the Blue Whale Challenge. It is believed that Rina Palenkova was the first victim of this horrible game. We spoke briefly about her in part 2. This happened again in 2019 with the infamous Momo picture, which I can't show or else this video would get demonetized. Where was the first sighting? Apparently, the first sighting of any of these accounts was on TikTok, going under the username @Jonathan.
I remember the Momo thing.
Eventually, if you're wondering how these anonymous people were able to convince these young teens into doing these horrible actions,
I don't think they did.
Because they would threaten to dox, which means find your address, kill your entire family, and do other disgusting things. All the other versions of it have resulted in a lot of kids committing.
Well, I don't think so. If I remember correctly, I haven't done research on this, but I do remember that Momo thing. I don't remember Goofy, whatever that is. I remember that guy's face, but I don't remember that being anything like further than that. But the whole Momo thing was all just a complete hoax. It was all completely fake. No one actually like hurt themselves or anything like that. I don't even know what I type in to find it. Momo related deaths, maybe? Yeah, the Momo challenge hoax. I don't think there was an actual case of somebody, you know, killing themselves from it. Who Momo is? I don't know why you asked that so awfully, but it's this thing. It's a picture from some old horror skit or something. This thing. Yeah, I'm pretty sure no one ever actually hurt themselves. It was just people making it up, and then places like Mirror ran with it. So like, here's Mirror's headline: Momo challenge victims revealed, kids as young as 12 killed by twisted craze. But I don't think any of it was ever actually real. I'd have to look more into it, but yeah, I do remember it all being outed as like, all those stories that were reported weren't actually true.
And that
okay, people keep saying blue whale. I don't even know what that is. That is foreign to me. I know blue waffle, I've never heard of blue whale before, so I don't even know what to look up here. Blue whale death? Well, I just got videos of blue whales dying, okay, so probably not. What do I look up? Blue whale challenge? The piece, so there was initially an article that came out linking multiple children's suicides to the blue whale challenge, and then it is critiqued by saying the piece was later criticized for attempting to make a casual link where none existed. None of the suicides were found to be a direct result of the group activities. Claims of suicides connected to the game have been reported worldwide, but none have been confirmed. That's what he's talking about. Well, I know, I'm just saying, like, I've never heard of the blue whale one, but none of this was ever, like, actually confirmed, ever.
John told Mashable this in an email referring to his business. Quote, "These pieces are not decoration. They are teaching tools and serve a very important purpose." This is a very hypocritical statement considering John has dressed up these human remains and let his cats play with them like toys.
Oh. I was gonna say, like, that's a pretty reasonable response.
How to tell. We drove to buy a real human skeleton. The thing about the question of where do I get them from?
I bet the people would be happy to see their bones being so enjoyed.
It doesn't matter to like 99% of you.
I first want to point out that John is not an osteologist, which is a trained professional who critically analyzes and evaluates
how does he get the
remains
bones?
to determine. John buys his remains from old medical collections or bone traffickers, then sells them back to the public under the guise of making the study of bones and human anatomy accessible. Anyone could buy these human remains and do whatever they want with them. You could close out this YouTube video right now and go buy some human bones. That is it.
Give me just 1 second. Is that true? I had no idea. I know you can buy, like, for, like, I remember in college some classes had human bones to teach. I didn't realize that was just something I get on Amazon. Let me see. Bone trafficking? Looted skulls and human remains are being sold in the black market. And do I get to know whose bones they were? Like, do I get, like, a picture of what they looked like before death? And it's like, hey, it's belonged to fucking Paul Cheeseburger. These are his bones. They're like an NFT. I mean, unironically, you get more value out of human bones than an NFT. Yeah, this guy seems like a real maniac.
At one point, John listed for sale the skull of a Sami person. The description of the skull also included a slur in reference to the group. Quote, Black, indigenous, and other ethnic bodies are not props for art. They are not objects to be pillaged and dissected by anyone. They are not exhibitions.
So is that what John was doing? Was he personally going and exhuming these graves?
And we shouldn't be okay with the private
or
trade
he just had his mom and dad's credit card and bought bones?
Which people have no ethical right to procure in an industry built on racism and violence. The killer that TikTok users found and caught. So, on February 23rd of this year, Daisy De La O was fatally stabbed outside of her family's California home by her ex-boyfriend, 25-year-old Victor Sosa.
Tier 1
Victor was a suspect immediately after her death, but he had already fled the country. They posted videos and images of Daisy, shared her story, as well as images of Victor calling for people to share and find him. They used the hashtag #JusticeForDaisy. Luckily, the videos landed on the right For You pages, and tips started rushing in. Victor Sosa had been spotted working. The person who sent this tip in said that Victor had been working at this bar for weeks and was living his best life like nothing ever happened. Susanna wants justice for her daughter and hopes by telling Daisy's story that other young women will find the strength to lead these abusive relationships. If you or someone you know is suffering in an abusive relationship, go to www.thehotline.org.
I feel like TikTok would actually be a really good tool for something like that.
Challenge.
Just because everyone has TikTok.
Trying to surface on TikTok. That being
like, look at EDP, for example. EDP literally can't exist in even like a parking lot in bumblefuck nowhere without someone videotaping him for TikTok. That man can't go anywhere. So actually, maybe using TikTok as a resource for catching people would be pretty effective just because there is so many people on TikTok.
The TikTok challenge that dares people to strangle themselves and escape. This challenge has been referred to as the Blackout Challenge, the game of choking, and speed dreaming. Even though this is public information, because this child is so young, I found out there was some type of video on TikTok letting kids know how to strangle yourself. But he's 7 years old, so how is he going to get out of it? A spokesperson from TikTok has since said that the challenge has been banned from the platform. Junior's family encouraged parents to block various social media sites and educate themselves about what could be lurking behind their kid's screen. The effect of
as a parent, you have to know TikTok's not going to be great for
beyond the United States. In January of this year, and this really begs the question, what dangerous TikTok challenge is going to trend next? And is TikTok even going to stop it in time, or is it going to take the lives of more kids?
Yes.
Zombie Woman is.
You want to know how you solve it? Unironically, YouTube had the solution. You have YouTube Kids, where you literally can't have anything but shit for kids. Then you have normal YouTube. And then they fucked it by just still allowing kids on normal YouTube anyway. So that's how you solve it. You have TikTok for kids, and you have a TikTok that kids cannot access. And the two never collide. That's how you also get rid of all your child predators. Easy. But then again, it's hard to well, you wouldn't know people's ages on TikTok for kids, I guess. I don't know how you'd enforce it. Right? We're prototyping right now in the lab. I'm still coming up with the solutions. Require an ID to sign up? Yeah, but kids don't have an ID. What are they gonna give me? Their fucking Roblox username? Yeah, it'd be tough. How would you enforce it? A biometric scan? Like, I don't know what the fuck you do. Social Security? That'd be good, because that solves two problems. Not many people want to give up their Social Security number, so then TikTok dies, and that's a net positive overall, too. So, yeah, I mean, I guess you could do SSN.
In part 1, we spoke about a woman in Seattle, Washington who was clearly in distress. Many of you were telling me in the comments that the woman in the video is a woman by the name of Marilyn Stanley. At first, I thought so too, but after more research, these two cases are actually completely separate. These are not the same people. The story goes that this woman was in an abusive relationship with her then boyfriend, named Zachary. Throughout the relationship, he would beat her, and she didn't leave because he threatened to kill her if she tried. Eventually, she was over at his house, and out of nowhere, he punched her repeatedly in the face. He dragged her to his bedroom and continued beating her. Then his pit bull came and bit half of Marilyn's ear off. She blacked out and woke up to Zachary smirking, and he said, "Look at you. You're bald. Now nobody's gonna want you."
Jesus Christ.
She described, and Zachary, he ended up blaming the scalping on his dog, but detectives were able to find out that the knife
dog
he
a barber?
had scalp on it. This idiot ended up getting 20 years in prison, which, bro, honestly, I think we can all agree he deserves a lot more. And sadly, Marilyn has to wear wigs now since she cannot grow hair at the top of her head anymore.
God damn.
TikTok helped identify an Appalachian Trail killer.
Because that video looked like it was like makeup or something. I thought it was like from like a horror set.
Flowers Don't Growl.
Holy shit.
Camping. The man must have been scared by the police lights because he just eventually wandered off and faded into the darkness. An officer accompanied them back to their campsite so they could gather their belongings and get the heck out of there. And Taylor learned not only the identity of the man, but the fact that he had killed someone just 2 weeks after they'd crossed paths. Ronald made it to Southwest Virginia. This is where Ronald ran into the man that attempted to murder Taylor and Chris, who was later identified as James L. Jordan. A Canadian woman nearby was also stabbed and managed to survive by playing dead. She then ran back to meet the other hikers and made a 6-mile trek to safety with them. In April of 2021, James Jordan was found not guilty by reason of insanity.
Devious lick trend. The devious...
What? I actually just read something the other day that when you plead insanity, it's actually worse for you. I was reading that, like, if you plead insane, it is significantly worse. Then you're just confined to a mental institution for, like, your entire life with no chance of parole or anything or some shit like that. Yeah, so he's not free. He's still in federal custody. That's what I just wanted to say. Though there is that... We even went over this on stream a while back. Do you guys remember, I think it was in Canada, there was that guy on a bus who out of nowhere grabbed a knife and stabbed a passenger. I think he ripped his head off, like cut his head off, and ate his eyeballs while everyone else on the bus watched. Because they got off the bus, he just out of nowhere started stabbing some random passenger. They all got off the bus, and he just sat there in the bus and ate the dude's eyeball. That guy only spent, I think it was 5 years in jail, and then was let go. He's completely free, he changed his name, and now he works a normal job. He's just back in general pop. No, it wasn't drugs, it wasn't anything like that. He pleaded insanity, and I guess after 5 years they said he was good. No, that's real. What the fuck was his name? We're kind of going back in time because we already did this, but let me look it up again. Vince Lee. Oh, the man formerly known as Vince Lee. Vince Lee was found not criminally responsible in the killing of Tim McLean. Bro, I don't know who he hired in court. He must have got Saul fucking Goodman. He was found not criminally responsible for the beheading and consumption of Tim McLean. So he was discharged in 2017 and changed his name, and he's back to business as usual. Fucking wild. He spent 7 years, though. It was 7 years, not 5. God damn. Wasn't drugs. Apparently, they said that he had untreated schizophrenia. That's what his legal defense said. Whether or not that's true, I mean, that's up to whatever you want to believe. But after spending 7 years institutionalized, they deemed him safe to be put back into, like, general pop. So he went to independent living. From independent living, he changed his name, and now he's just full-blown, like, back to being a citizen. Though even the people that discharged him have said, I'm concerned about a relapse. So, the man ate someone. Yeah. Not only did he eat someone, he ate, like, the worst part of someone. He ate a fucking eyeball. You know, like, push comes to shove, you and me, we're trapped on, like, a mountaintop, we're running out of food. The first thing I'm eating from you is not going to be your eyeball. I'd start with something that looks a little familiar, like maybe like your leg or something, like nibble on your calf. I would not start with an eyeball.
TikTok user Frey Todoroki. A Brazilian TikToker who goes by Freya conspired with 2 friends to kill a girl. 19-year-old Raíssa Borges wanted to know if she was a psychopath. To test this theory, she conspired with 18-year-old Freya and 22-year-old Jefferson to kill a petite person that couldn't fight back. 18-year-old Ariane Laureano.
That's what they decided to test.
On August 24th,
their
the group invited
psychopath nature
Ariane
with
into the woods to hang out. Raíssa then started to strangle Ariane, but ultimately couldn't kill her alone. That's when Freya and Jefferson joined in. As Ariane passed out, they stabbed her 3 times to make sure that she was gone. On September 16th, authorities arrested Raíssa, Freya, and Jefferson, and this case is still ongoing.
Hopefully it ends with
if you guys
life in
enjoyed
prison.
The video, make sure to leave a like, and if you're not subscribed,
if you want to know if you're a psychopath, just do what normal people do. See if you like Overwatch.
Also,
that was good though. Those were good icebergs. I had heard of a decent bit of them, but not a ton. Especially not that last one. I feel like that one would have been bigger news. Maybe it was and I missed it. Because apparently I missed quite a few big ones. Darkest TikTok iceberg. Why do people keep asking for that? Oh, I actually remember this story. I haven't seen his video on it, but I remember this was on Reddit. There was a random TikTok that was taken, well, at least this story, I guess the whole thing might not be connected. A random TikTok taken of a girl with like a black eye and shit. And then Redditors actually were the ones that maybe potentially connected her to a missing persons case. I don't remember the result. I don't know if it actually turned out to be true or not, but yeah, I guess we'll check it out, sure.
We're doing it from most tame to most gruesome. This video gets really dark, and it sounds so ironic because it's TikTok, but you guys would
no, TikTok's a fucked platform.
Also, I made this list. I hope you guys watch the whole thing. By the way, make sure to follow me on Instagram and subscribe to the channel if you are not already. Actually, don't subscribe yet. I'll earn your subscription by the end of this video.
Hey.
Without botting accounts. Like most social media, TikTok has
underwhelming.
Users that want followers can easily look
Everyone
up
knows
how to buy
TikTok's
TikTok
botted
followers
the fuck.
Google. I don't know how lame you have to be to do that stuff.
Hey, fun fact. That's how Travis Scott started. Travis Scott bought all of his followers on SoundCloud when he started. His manager came out and said that Travis Scott, paid him to set up a bot farm for his SoundCloud engagements, and then he was able to pitch that manufactured success to a record label. So yeah, that shit really works.
Fetishization of murderers. TikTok
True
is a
crime.
place for anyone with any interest.
That was big on Tumblr.
Some people are push the boundary a little when they begin romanticizing these murderers. Take Cameron Herron, for example.
Oh,
in
Jesus,
April
yeah.
of this year, this 21-year-old man was sentenced to a total of 24 years in prison for
about
killing a 24-year-old mom and her baby during an illegal street race. Yet people on TikTok were begging for his freedom because he is quote-unquote cute. With dedicated fan edits, comments like, chances should be given and he deserves it. And he is innocent. Please let him go, or justice for him.
They still exist. I see them on Twitter all the time.
These comments have no real sense of murder. And it's not only male murderers that are simp for, though. There's also the case of Isabella Guzman, who in 2013 was the age 18 and stabbed her mother 151 times, killing her. TikTok teens began requesting for her freedom because 1, they just thought she was cool, and 2, people said that the only reason she killed her mom was due to being abused, though that was never proven, so people were just going off word of mouth. Fetishization of school shooters. Just like young teens simp for murderers, they also simp for school shooters. Most notably, Devin Erickson, which we actually talked about on this channel back in March.
Who the fuck is that?
That's exactly what you'd expect. Fan edits, comments saying he's hot, and I wouldn't doubt some asking for his freedom. Speaking of romanticizing school shooters, I remember FTP made a couple shirts referencing
who the fuck was that? I've never heard of that guy. He was a school shooter? Dude straight up had like cotton candy hair. I guess it's good that I have no idea that dude's name. But yeah, no, I had no clue. I've never seen that guy before in my fucking life.
I don't know who started this trend of thinking school shooters are people you should idolize, because they're not. They're shit humans that took away lives of innocent people. The surface. Faking disabilities. There was an instance.
Ooh, this was big.
This girl
Still
on TikTok
big.
did some detective work and found out that the account at Adopted and Disabled Child was actually a guy pretending to be disabled. For what? All credit to her, because she actually found out that the quote-unquote disabled man in the video is a soccer player for a Norwegian football team.
What
goes on through your head to say, you know what? I should fake a disability
Holy
today
shit.
and post it on TikTok. Lopez brothers. Okay, I honestly don't want to waste my breath on these fucking idiots, so I'm gonna make this one really quick. Yes, they are both guilty of soliciting minors. Yes, there is proof.
She's 14. And you are how old?
Who the fuck are they? I've never heard of them.
You can end up in jail.
I do realize that.
And
man, that video didn't really pop off. Let me take a peek. I bet they're doing just fine on TikTok. Honestly, it might even be good marketing on TikTok, so that way the little girls think they have a chance with them, I guess. Which they very well might. Tony Lopez has 23 million followers, and he's doing real well. Posted a day ago. Let's go! He rated his attractiveness. Look at this. Nice. Yeah, no, that really, man, him being outed as a pedophile apparently really, it really ruined him. Who was the other one? Andre Lopez? He probably took the brunt of it. 21 million followers. He's doing even better than his brother. Hey, look, he's doing a dance. Nice. See, that's the beauty of TikTok. No matter what you do, you can't be canceled on there. And you know why? Because kids don't care. Kids do not give a shit. These two could have literally executed a child on TikTok livestream, put a gun to his head, blew their fucking brains out, and then did a dance on their corpse. Kids would have forgiven them. Literal next day.
for some reason, little girls still love them.
Oh, even mentions it, yeah.
His TikToks would get millions of views, and I'm sure you've seen them on your For You page at some point. Well, last month, multiple minors came out explaining that Jerob had groomed them.
Tori.
One of them, the one that got the most views, was a boy by the name of DYLG16. Joe would send him and his minor friends online BDSM tests and would ask to see their scores so he could see what their kinks were. He even offered to buy him alcohol, and if that wasn't damning enough, Jerob ended up deleting his account shortly after these allegations came out. Bro, if there's one thing I don't like, it's fucking groomers, bro. Get the fuck out of here. You're weird. You're weird. You're weird. Cartel TikTok.
To be fair, that dude probably wouldn't have recovered. I think you're probably right. The people that are fine and uncancelable on TikTok are like the dudes that are decent looking. This guy stood no chance. This guy was fucked the second he got outed as a child groomer. But yeah, the other ones are doing just fine for literally being outed by multiple people for preying on minors.
Zombie Woman is the nickname given to a woman in distress recorded from a neighbor earlier this year in May in Seattle, Washington. Now, I've tried researching what actually is the story behind this video, but there isn't really a solid story. So, I'm just going to read you guys some popular theories. The first theory is that this woman is a victim of domestic abuse due to dyeing her hair pink and her boyfriend not liking it. Also forgot to mention that in that same theory, the boyfriend allegedly ripped her hair out due to not liking the pink. That's the most I could find for that one. The second theory is
probably
that this woman is just on some type of heavy drug like bath salts. The third theory is that this woman is a victim of human trafficking and she had escaped her abuser.
That is possible.
Someone said,
man, that actually does look like a fucking scene from Martyrs, if any of you guys are unfortunate enough to have watched that movie. That movie's disturbing. This actually does look like a scene from that. So this was real? This wasn't like some theater promotion thing or something? Like some kids doing high school theater? Because the cops are actually here, so I'm guessing this was a real person. Damn, that is fucking sad. Martyrs isn't that bad? Bro, that movie hits hard. That movie, like, not just like the gore shit they show, that movie, like, even its message is disturbing. The whole movie is about torturing women so they can get as close to death as possible, so hopefully they'd have an out-of-body experience and see what's on the other side. And to accomplish that, they torture the women, like, by literally, like, peeling all of their skin off, like, degloving their whole body. Like, that movie's nutty. That movie is, like, really nutty.
Holocaust challenge. Yo, I
remember this one.
Stuff I'm saying right
I remember
now.
that one.
This is real stuff that happened on TikTok. In August of 2020, a new trend began emerging in US TikTok. In this trend, teenagers would pretend to be Jews that had died during the Holocaust.
Yeah, that one was pretty fucking crazy.
Diane Saltzman, the director.
One thing I always found pretty interesting about this is, like, what is the thought process here? Like, so they died at Auschwitz and they went to heaven, and yet they're still, like, covered in dirt and like hurt and stuff even while in heaven. Like, that's gotta suck. You go to heaven in the same state you left the world. Like, if you get hit by a fucking train or something, you just go to heaven in pieces. That'd be terrible. What a horrible, like, entrance.
Is offensive to survivors.
Easy tier 1 macaroni and cheese.
I don't know how fucking stupid you have to be to do this shit, bro. That's just weird and disrespectful. Ronnie McNutt video.
This one, I remember this one too.
TikToks would be posted onto the app.
Fuck, this one was heavy.
Until the TikTok would then cut to a clip of a man shooting himself in the head with a rifle. Well, he actually shoots himself in the face, not. Well, like, we're like, all right here. I'm sure you guys have probably seen the video. These TikToks were disguised as your average dancing videos.
That was a fucked up trend.
Fan cam confirmed that the rumor of Ronnie doing this, quote, because his girlfriend broke up with him, is entirely false. He explains that Ronnie did this due to suffering from PTSD and depression.
Oh, yeah, that one was super
TikTok
sad.
beheading video. In the summer of
That
this
one was
year,
really fucking
the video
sad.
began Cassie Compton. In January of 2021,
This one I remember from
video
Reddit.
posted on TikTok went viral due to showing a woman sitting in the backseat of a car. People compared this woman to Cassie Compton, a 15-year-old who disappeared from her home in Stuttgart, Arkansas on September 14th of 2014. Though, these were later found out to be two completely different people. And
oh, it wasn't
the
right?
video was confirmed by family to be Haley Grace Phillips. She had been reported missing by a family member who saw the video.
It was
but
right, though.
on her own account, had just left home due to a falling out with her father. So, you know, she didn't think she was missing. She just, like, left home. And when asked about the black eyes, she explains that she had been jumped and robbed by two women when leaving the store. And the men in the car were friends of hers helping her track down the attackers. Many were still skeptical to if she was telling the truth or if her abusers were telling her.
So Reddit was almost right.
So we
kind
have
of.
no idea what the Austin 13. Austin Morosky was a TikToker with many followers who was accused of raping his 5-year-old sister. Yep, you heard that
Jesus
right. So basically,
Christ.
there is no hard evidence that I could find to this case. It's all just word of mouth from people that went to high school with him.
That if you happen to get in the same scenario like myself, don't beat yourself up. Let this be a lesson to my followers and whoever's watching, that words will and can affect someone's life along with the cyberbullying.
Which, by the way, is one of the worst apology videos I've seen.
What?
It's right up there with James Charles and David Dobrik. You'd expect them to be like, no, I did not rape my sister, or yes, guys, I did.
Holy
but
shit.
He just dodges the question. He acknowledges nothing.
What the
Lady
fuck?
Cat Killer.
Wait, what the fuck? That was actually, like, his response? I imagine he's doing just fine on TikTok. He probably didn't even need to do that for his TikTok followers. They don't give a fuck. What was his name? Austin 13? He does not have a TikTok anymore. That's a first. Yeah, I typed it in right. The AWS. Yeah, I typed it in right. Oh, 316. Oh. Okay, hold on. No, still not. And it was Austin 13. Man, fuck you guys making me think I was wrong.
On July 28th in San Antonio, Texas, this girl and her friends saw someone hanging from the railing of a drainage ditch. The 25-year-old man had just committed suicide, and instead of calling the police, well, one of the teens filmed the other one stealing his necklace. Yes, removing it from his lifeless body. To make matters even worse, they filmed it and posted it on
Full-blown
Snapchat.
Logan
I have
Paul.
no idea how stupid you have to be to film yourself committing a crime. I mean, because if you think about it, they could have gotten away with it, and I'm not condoning them getting away with it. But seriously, how stupid, like, just don't film
Holy
it? Again,
shit.
I'm not condoning what they did. Good that they got caught. I'm glad they were idiots and filmed it. When asked by the police why she stole the necklace, she says that it matched her fashion style. Honestly, I didn't.
That's
I
a
didn't
good-
expect any better.
That's a
reasoning
good
from this
point,
girl.
actually.
The police,
How are they doing on TikTok? What was her name? What was it? Bethany what? Yeah, I'm sure if I type in how many people are actually fucking named Bethany in 2022, I'm sure it'll come up. Bethany 3160. I'm not falling for it twice. No, it looks like she has also been banned. Man, maybe TikTok actually does sometimes take action. Then why not for the other? They're like predators. Yeah, it looks like she is also off. Her name was Bethany Martin.
Zachary Lathan.
Her account still exists.
Often
It's at
dubbed
50K.
The TikToker who killed his neighbor for clout.
Thank you, some
Zachary
Dal
Lathan
stars.
did just that. Eventually, the family's son and father confront Zach by going to his house, and meanwhile, Zach's wife is recording everything. Yeah, the dude had a wife at the age of 18. What the f? Anyway, Zach ends up going ape mode and stabs William in the armpit, puncturing his lung, killing him. People say this was an attempt to gain TikTok clout since the wife was recording, but I personally think it's just a man with mental and anger issues not knowing limits. Also,
Jesus.
the argument, the people came up to his side, and I'm not defending it again, that kid's a fucking idiot. But yeah, rest in peace to that man. Rest in peace. Joseph Jimenez.
I'm assuming
Another
that
recent
TikTok
event from
guy's
this
in
list
jail
is
now.
this. When explaining why he did it, he says that voices were telling him that by killing both of those two teenagers, he would be saving the world.
Fuck, maybe, Jesus Christ, maybe that Reddit commenter really was real then. Fuck me, oh my god. What? Jesus Christ. Yeah, going out in public's scary, man. What's the name of that old song from Under Oath? It's dangerous business going out of your front door or something? The shit is super true. And it really feels like more and more people are becoming unhinged. I don't know what it is, but it just really feels like more often now than when I was growing up, people are becoming significantly more on edge and dangerous. Thanks to Tier 1 Dat Boy and the resub up down. It might just be like more access to information, but goddamn, this fucking scary.
Claire Miller is a 14-year-old girl that murdered her disabled sister, Helen, that had cerebral palsy, a disorder that affects a person's posture, muscles, and balance. Claire hysterically called 911 and just admitted to murdering her sister, and when the police arrived, they noticed that she had tried washing the blood that was on her hands in the snow on the ground. So I guess there was just bloody snow everywhere. And they had found a knife inside of the older sister's neck. They are charging her for murder as an adult. She's not being charged as a minor. She's being charged as a full adult. So
that's good news.
Consequences.
God damn.
Nicola Priest. This is by
I think
far
as TikTok continues to grow, pretty much every criminal ever is going to be able to be traced back to a TikTok account. So literally every criminal from this point forward, I imagine, will be able to watch TikTok videos of them doing the Doja Cat dance or some shit at some point. Because it's just everyone has one now. So literally every single murderer is also going to be a TikToker by extension. That's a pretty wild future.
So this woman from the UK named Nicola Priest would post TikToks mourning her dead daughter. This woman actually murdered her own kid and then went on TikTok post mourning her own daughter. People found this out because you can actually search her up on public records and it says there that she murdered her kid. That's what she is. And if you go back and watch some of the videos, her account is still up, by the way. If you go back and watch some of the videos, it's so fucking creepy seeing like just no.
Why is her account still up?
Acting like she didn't fucking kill her own daughter.
What? What was her name? Nicola Priest. How is she doing? No, it's down now. Okay, so it must have been up in August. It is down now. So far, almost all of them have been. I'm very surprised. Usually they're not. Why just 15 years? I have no fucking clue. I have no idea. I imagine, if I had to take a guess, I would say it's probably the UK. Let's see, in fact. Mom who killed 3-year-old for interrupting her having sex posts... What? Posts apology to her parents. And yes, she was from Solihull, England. She made a fucking YouTube apology video for killing her 3-year-old daughter. She was having sex with her boyfriend and got interrupted. And so she killed her daughter. What was the thought process? It's not like she was going to go back to getting laid after committing a murder in front of the boyfriend. Oh shit, the boyfriend is also implicated in this. The vomiting was the result of the severe beating you were both responsible for inflicting on her. No doubt you irritated by her crying, asking to be let out. It interrupted the two of you when you wanted to have sex. You lost your temper and you were joint participants in the assault. Holy shit. And they got 15 years. It's a fucking joke, man. That's a fucking joke. Yep, that should be life for both of them, I would say. And what's even wilder, she used it for clout on TikTok.
All right, yeah, that was the iceberg.
That was a lot of shit.
Let me know what you guys want to see.
There's a shart trend as well. Now that just sounds like good fun. No one's getting hurt in a shart. Damn. Yeah, that was a lot of shit I'd never even heard of. I was the one that discovered why good girls like bad guys. I was the fucking scientist that cracked that code. The fucking shit archaeologist who dug through shit trying to find and clean his finds of shit on the Musical.ly or TikTok app, and then I made the video about good girls, bad guys. And then Pyrocynical has the audacity, has the gall, the chutzpah to steal my video idea, my video in essence. He takes it from me without even mentioning me. And then Memulous, I had him on the fucking podcast. I raised the boy. I made him a man, put hair on his ball sacks on the podcast, and he turns around and does a TikTok video as well? Again, without even saying that I was the cream supreme of TikTok finds? Disrespectful. Now no one even knows that I was the one that discovered it. And it's a shame. It's a fucking shame. So now I, the holy king, chosen by God himself to sit upon the throne of shitting on insufferably bad TikTok content and watching borderline illegal TikTok content, must retake my place atop this mountain of dog shit that is called TikTok.
You sure you want to do this, little girl? I mean, what if we're dangerous?
This is exactly what I meant by borderline illegal. So apparently this dude was under the impression that he was communicating with and singing to like a 6-year-old girl, and then it turns out she's not actually 6. Fucking got him. Catfish. Lied to. This is like a Chris Hansen play right here, right out of his playbook. I don't understand. And what the fuck was that picture anyway? It looked like a missing person on the back of a milk carton picture. This is just some weird shit, and it's apparently a trend on TikTok. There's a fucking 100 of these.
Sure you want to do this, little girl? I mean, what if we're dangerous? What if we're dangerous?
How many child predators are there on TikTok? How many dudes were under the impression that they were communicating with children, and then they do this challenge and it turns out they're not children, so they're all surprised? What a fucking weird trend and culture on TikTok. Let's go ahead and check out some more of them.
Oh well. Karma's a witch.
This is cheating a little bit because I already knew about this one. This was a very popular trend a couple years back. The karma's a bitch, and then you like throw a blanket in the air and then all of a sudden your dick's 9 inches long or something. But since it's Halloween, it's got a spin on TikTok where karma's a witch. But I unironically like this clip just because I think that mask is fantastic. It must be a homemade DIY creation from this guy. It looks like Gandalf face-fucked a hobgoblin, and the tongue out from the guy wearing it's that nice little cherry on top to remind you that the platform is still just for sex offenders. That face, the mask, probably is what most of the people who hit like on those videos on TikTok look like behind the phone screen. Who reacts that way to seeing a bottle of water on the floor? If I saw a bottle of water on my floor, I'd be like, oh shit, must have left that bottle of water on the floor. But she stumbles in here like she just walked into a crime scene. She's just fucking disgusted by it. Makes a face like she's watching her parents have sex. Then it turns out that bottle of water is super heavy like Thor's hammer, but luckily she had a real man on standby to come help her with it. It was just a little sneak preview, a little taste of the comedy stylings of TikTok, the comedy genius of the TikTok creators. I know you're probably still recovering from the hoot and holler you had from that heavy bottle challenge clip right there, but trust me, it gets even better on TikTok. Did you see those goofy faces? In case that didn't really tickle you pink, did you see what he was curling? It wasn't a weight, it was a fruit. That's right, this is part of the comedy trend on TikTok called the Fruit Fitness Challenge. I mean, need I say more? This is where all the good shit goes to die. I think that's enough of TikTok for today. I've scrolled through plenty of videos. I think I'm going to call it quits on the TikTok app for tonight. See ya.